All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for Wednesday, the 2nd of June, 2021. Wednesday, Odin's days, Mercury retrograde, home in the sign of Gemini. We've got Venus at the 29th degree, the anaretic degree, critical degrees of Gemini, making sure that we're truly feeling the lessons that we've learned, truly integrating, truly bringing in the knowledge before Venus moves into the sign of Cancer today. Let me show you the chart here. We have a lot of interesting stuff. It's all happening relatively early in the morning, 5 a.m. here on Wednesday morning. As you see, I've got my clock set at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Semi-sextile Saturn to the moon. Moon semi-sextile to Chiron. Chiron sextile to Saturn. So the sextile is between the two opposing signs here, two different signs, air and fire. And then we've got the moon here right in the middle in water. Then we've got it 12 degrees over here, Taurus. So where Saturn is square to Uranus and Taurus, we have a sextile between the moon and Uranus. And then we have this semi-sextile between Chiron and Uranus. And then we have a sextile between Chiron and the sun. And then the sun semi-sextile to Uranus. So you see, we have all of these ladders kind of going on here. The sun showing up in the form of ego, who we are. We're showing up in the place of exploration, especially being close to the North Node. We want to discover, we want to learn, we want to explore who we are. We want to explore our minds. We want to explore wisdom, what it means to be wise, what it means to be learning. In any department, you're learning to play guitar, you're learning to paint, you're learning photography, you're learning how to play an instrument or record sound, you're reading some book, okay? And this brings new breakthroughs. This could be financial breakthroughs. This is breakthroughs in breaking your own limits. Like, wow, now that I understand this, that hurdle that I've been stuck on for some time, I can finally get over that. Once I learned this thing, whatever this thing is, place of discovery. And because Mercury's retrograde here in Gemini, we're going to continue to want to learn and explore our own communication, our thought processes, our how our thoughts are being processed, especially with Mercury sextile to Eris, about how we deal with information. Again, this is what's being triggered, understanding that it's me, I am the one being triggered. Why are my emotions being triggered this way? Because of words. Why do I allow these words to put me in a different emotional space than my own joy and happiness? Sun square to the moon in Pisces. Ooh. You know, so there's interesting stuff, and we've got Mars square to Eris today. This is huge about how we're dealing with our own emotions, how we're swimming in our emotions, and how we're dealing with other people. But understanding that it comes back to us. We're the ones that are triggered. We're the ones that are saying something or having an emotional reaction based on particularly somebody else's emotional response. We're having an emotional response because someone else is having an emotional response. Well, how do we feel about that? How do we think about that? This is interesting. This is a conundrum, if you will, that we're going to be dealing with today. Mars creating the trine to Neptune. This is about expansion. Well, now that we see why we've been triggered by this, oh, well, my dad did this to me when I was younger, you know, potentially. This could be mother or father, to be honest with you, because we have Uranus square to Saturn. This could be fatherly stuff or masculine energy, because we have Mars here square to Neptune in the sign of Cancer. We have the moon, emotional moon, square here to the sun. You know, the moon deals with the mother. 4th house, Cancer, deals with mother. You know, so maybe this is some family stuff we're learning about. Maybe family stuff we're getting over, or humps in the road, or something. You know, this is different for everybody, of course. But a lot of it, again, this is about information, breakthrough, seeing why we're triggered, how we're triggered, finding a place of surrender within it, understanding this may be just how we are, And it's not up to the other person to know or not know whether we have an invisible button that they pushed, invisible button here, Neptunian. And it's our personal responsibility in the community to handle our own eruptions, abrupt eruptions, perhaps. And a new way to think about how we're dealing with this stuff. A new way to act on how we're emotionally responding. And then as our day moves on, Moon moving through the sign of Pisces, Venus enters now the sign of Cancer, right off the gate, starting this trine to Jupiter. Okay, this is a beautiful placement. Okay, Venus wants to be in Pisces. Venus has a harder time in Gemini because it's like everything, it's like, ooh, this is shiny. Ooh, this is cool. I can fall in love with this. I can fall in love with that. I can appreciate all of these little things, which is very positive. But it's lacking definition, lacking direction. Venus just loves everything, which is great. So now Venus moving into the sign of Cancer, creating that trine to Jupiter. So this is like, okay, this is about emotions. This is a deeper emotional love, a deeper emotional appreciation. And again, we're rethinking, Mercury retrograde, rethinking our communication, or rethinking in how to communicate our feelings, which now we're swimming in our feelings. We have Mars, our planet of action, and Venus, our planet of love, wants, and desires, both in the sign of Cancer, which is all about those feels. And sometimes it can be about hiding out, things go into Cancer, things go hidden. So this is like, at the same time as Venus and Mars are both in the sign of Cancer, we have the Sun and Mercury in the sign of Gemini, which is about communication. The Moon starting to create a conjunction to Neptune as the day moves on, which is, one, it can be the black hole. We can be lost in the abyss and not sure how to communicate something. This is also deals with that square to Mercury. I'm not sure how to deal with this communication. I feel all of this. I've got to figure out the way to funnel it, to put it into words, to make it make sense. We're casting a spell with our thoughts. We're casting a spell with the words that we say. So this is like writing the right sentence or creating the right structure in our minds, going from structureless, limitless potential. So it's like every single word in the dictionary, every single word is available for use. And we have this blank space here where we're trying to figure out how to create a puzzle. It's a puzzle that we're creating at the same time solving. That's once we find this magical way to communicate these things or to make sense of it in our brains, then it's the illumination. It's like, that's it. So once I understand that thing, whatever that may be, this is going to be Wednesday into Thursday, then everything kind of becomes illuminated. Then there's this sense of release and relief that Uranus brings. So I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to experiencing that, whether that comes on Wednesday or if that comes on Thursday in the day. So a lot of information, a lot of feeling, it's putting the blinders on and it's feeling, our next move, our next plan of action, the next way that we're communicating this, expressing this, and trying to recognize when we have that impulsive trigger to respond in a certain way. And to maybe take that breath, take that moment to see if how we're responding is with compassion, is with empathy and care and a nurturing sense of where Venus and Mars are right now, asking us to care for other people. So that's our day, my friends. Enjoy this beautiful Wednesday. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. I love you. See you tomorrow.